Welcome back to Atlanta and Company. I'm Holly Furfer. Golden Home Services is a premier private in-home care service for seniors in Georgia. Now, this locally owned business understands the unique needs of people as they age and pride themselves on their ability to assist with the individual desires of each client. And Client Care Director Greta Giesler is here to tell us more about it. Welcome, Greta.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, what specifically is home care?
Holly, home care is one-on-one care performed for an individual by a caregiver in their home. It's anything from personal care services, such as giving a bath or dressing, to companionship services, maybe reminding somebody to take their medications or taking them on a transportation. And it can be preventative care as well.
I'm very familiar. My grandfather actually had that kind of care. And when you say preventative care, describe a little bit more what that is.
Well, we all know nobody wants to go to the nursing home or end up in the hospital. And I've heard so many stories go like this. Mom was reaching up to grab something out of her closet, and she slipped, she fell, she broke a hip, and the whole nightmare begins. She's rushed to the hospital, and then she has to stay weeks, possibly months, in a rehabilitation facility. And this takes financial, physical, not to mention the emotional strain on all parties involved. Sometimes spouses are separated for months at a time, sometimes forever, and this could have all been prevented if only someone would have come into their home maybe a few hours a week, just to help them out with these odds and ends jobs.
Or just to check to make sure everything's safe, that there are no rugs that are sticking out that don't have some kind of coating on the bottom to keep people from
slipping. Or things like that, anything dangerous in the home.
Okay, and why would you hire an individual versus a company? You know, tell us the difference.
That's a great question. And we find that oftentimes, many times, people do hire individuals because it can be less expensive. But with my personal experience, I find that people don't do their homework. There's so many things to take into consideration. Have you done a reference check of this person?
Very important.
Criminal background check. Just a few things like they're not licensed by the state, where a home care company is licensed by the state. Somebody's coming into your home, that could be a big liability. Is theft involved? But last but not least, the biggest thing is not having a backup plan. You need to have a backup plan if this individual caregiver calls out, if they get sick or doesn't show up for any reason. With a company like Golden Home Services, you could call on us anytime for a backup plan. We have hundreds of caregivers to pull from, and they could be there for you to help out.
And they're all reference checked, so you know the person that's coming into your home and into your personal space is somebody who's been cleared.
And that's so important. And we want our clients to be comfortable with our caregivers
too. And how do you know if you've chosen a good home care company? What are things you should look for?
Well, Holly, there's many things to look for. I think we bullet some of them for you. But the biggest, in my opinion, is that company accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just a scenario, and this has happened many times in our company. Somebody's coming out of the hospital, and it could be in the evening, it could be on the weekend. They come out of the hospital anytime, and they're not going into a rehabilitation or into a nursing home for rehabilitation. They're coming home for their rehabilitation, and they want to receive temporary 24-hour service. They want to know that they can call someone and speak to someone live. They don't have to answer to an answering service or a voicemail. They want to speak to someone live, and that's really important.
Yeah, because somebody could fall in the middle of the night. Someone could need some kind of help in the middle of the night.
This is a 24-hour business.
And how long has Golden Home Services been caring for seniors? How long have you been in the business?
The president founded the company back in 2003 after being in the long-term care business for over 15 years. It's funny that he jokes that we're more like a dating service than a home care company because we try so hard to make the right match between our clients and our caregivers. Absolutely. And not only do we do that, Holly, we set up individualized memory care programs where it's not only a plan of care for the caregiver and the individual throughout the day, it's also a list of activities. So there's interaction going on, and it keeps everybody busy and everybody happy and
keeps the patient engaged. And when you say memory care, a lot of times we're talking about Alzheimer's
and dementia.
Exactly, which we're hearing more about, and we're finding more people diagnosed with Alzheimer's every year.
Right.
And what areas do you service?
Generally, we service about 14 counties. Our rule of thumb is we'll go about 60 miles or so out of Metro Atlanta. Just give us a call. We'll tell you if we service your county, and if we don't, we might be doing so soon. We also service independent living facilities, assisted living facilities, skilled nursing homes, hospitals, hospice clinics. We'll go anywhere where our client is. It doesn't have to be in their home.
Oh, that's great. And how do you pay for these services?
Well, the pay is generally private.
Okay.
At Golden Home Services, we accept personal checks and credit cards.
Okay.
For our clients, long-term care insurance sometimes helps out with these type things.
Right.
If you're not sure if your insurance helps out with that, give us a call. We'll help you verify your benefits. Also, something a lot of people don't know about is veterans and their spouses can sometimes apply for VA benefits, and there's some assistance there as well. One thing I do want to note is Medicare doesn't pay for private home care. It does pay for home health care, which is a little different than home care. It's skilled intermittent care where a doctor's order is needed. That's the main difference between home care and home health care.
And quickly, before we run out of time, what's the process if I wanted to get preventative care for my parents? What's the first thing I should do?
Just give us a call.
Okay.
We'll have someone answer the phone, and the person can answer a few short questions. We want to get to know your situation and what we can do to help. We'll assign you to one of our registered nurses who will come out and do a free assessment. And you'll also be assigned to a client care director, such as myself, and we'll set you up with a plan of care. It's that easy.
Thank you, Greta. Appreciate it, and definitely needed in this time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly.
And if you want to learn more about services and personal care Golden Home offers, then you can call 678-242-0084 or visit their website at goldenhomeservices.com. This segment was paid for by Golden Home Services. All right. Later on, Atlanta & Company, after being recognized at the prestigious Cannes Film Festival, Atlanta native Stephen Rollins comes back home for the premiere of his new movie. Plus, new mothers always need help as they begin to care for their newborn baby, and we're going to highlight some products that will make life just a bit easier coming up next.